most powerful hero in humanity prepared to save the world from disaster, yet the people around you just do not believe in the protagonist's power. They think he is weak and so decide to pretty much just banish him from the party, village, or whatever he's entitled to. Today's video will be covering 10 anime where the main character is banished for being weak, but comes back as a savior. If you're new around here, then please make sure that you subscribe to the channel with the notification bell icon turned on to stay up to date with the latest anime news and recommendations right at your doorstep. Now, without keeping you all waiting, let us begin with the video. I think it's time we start this list off with an anime series, a new one called Chillin in My 30s after getting fired from the Demon King's army. Judging from the title itself, the protagonist Dario was a member of the Demon Lord's army, but due to him being unable to use any sort of magic at all, he was deemed weak and was then fired from his position, or more like kicked out of the army completely. But even so, when he was kicked out, he did help a lost little girl from being attacked by a monster quite easily and realized he may be more overpowered than he actually thought. And I just may think that the Demon Lord's army just kicked out their ace member on accident for believing he's weak, even though he's not. It's being developed by Encourage Films and currently airing this season, and so far, I am really enjoying it. Ningen Fushi, adventurers who don't believe in humanity will save the world. This is another brand new anime airing this season created by Studio Geek Toys, whom are currently doing Data Live. This anime is by all means no different from the previous one. The experienced adventurer named Nick was part of a party but was then kicked out of a group by his father figure who raised him at a very young age for being accused of stealing funds. Now Nick can't really trust others as he is left all alone without a party because he feels betrayed by his comrades. Of course, there's always a twist in the end. He's not the only one facing a problem because after encountering a few others just like him, they all decided to form a party together. Thus, the story begins with a party of adventurers united in their belief that humans are snakes and desire to make some money themselves. This anime, as you may tell from its title, Banished from the Hero's Party, is yet another topic of a heroic person named Red, a D-ranked adventurer who was banished from a party. He was formerly known as Gideon before being banished by his party members when they all surpassed him in skill and level. The general premise sets up for his adventure and life in the fantasy world, although his past continuously comes back to haunt him. Meanwhile, he also meets a young girl named Rit, a charismatic woman who has developed lots of feelings for Red during their time together, but of course, she has her own reasons to live, such as carefree life, and we find out more about her identity and past later on in the series. But for now, let's just say that this anime subscribes to a charming couple together, and it's a very good slice of life series overall. Beast Tamer is an anime focusing on a protagonist who has a class and also the power of a beast tamer, able to use animals or beasts and take control of them. But of course, being part of the hero's party, his team members found him absolutely so useless in fights that he couldn't really do anything to help, and they ended up kicking him out. The low point of this anime is that the story is kinda dull and pretty predictable in general, but sometimes it's out of expectation. They ended up kicking him out, not knowing in the end he's actually overpowered, befriending two powerful species to join him, a dragon and also a cat spirit. Even at one point, he bested his entire team during a fight in which they were all completely shocked. I mean, they were supposed to be the party to beat the Demon Lord. But overall, I can happily say it's a very fun watch and I do highly recommend it. Kaze no Stigma is a classic, airing back in 2007 by Studio Gonzo. It's a very fun anime if you're interested in this genre. Battles, magic, comedy, and kick-ass moments. Kaze no Stigma has it all. The protagonist Kazuma was born into a family who possesses powerful fire abilities, but unfortunately, alas, it turns out that Kazuma was born and had the ability to control wind, and he was a complete disgrace to the family and ended up being banished from it. Now, years later, he actually decides to return and prove everyone just how wrong they are by how powerful of a wind user he truly has become. It's even got mystery elements in to find out who's the killer of, Kazuma's family members. So Kazuma must not only clear his name, but also aid the family he shares a mutual hatred with in order to discover the true identity of the killer. Now we move to probably one of my favorite anime series of all time, taking place in the Sengoku Samurai era, one of my favorite settings in an anime. This one here is called Dororo. The lord of the land wanted to save his people from disaster and offered his newborn baby to the demons, thus that baby was ending up being born without limbs or anything and was completely banished or casted away like it was nothing. This is an adventurous story and a tale of revenge, to where Yakimaru, the protagonist, retrieves his stolen body parts from the demons to reclaim his humanity and settle the score with his family who betrayed him. Great visuals, addicting storyline, and perfect characters for a series such as this. If you haven't seen Dororo, then this is a must-watch for anyone. I'm sure many of you have heard or at least even watched Arifureta. It's a very popular isekai that heavily falls under today's list of a pathetic loser turning into an absolute badass after being betrayed. Nagumo was the weakest in his class that was summoned to another world. The class was fighting to search for a way out until he was betrayed by a classmate and was sent to the bottom dungeon levels as he tries to survive the best as he can by eating monsters, thus transforming him into a completely different being, so powerful that he can destroy enemies so easily. Now he journeys to the surface to unite with his friends and settle the score with the traitor. Of course, that is only the start, because there is still the second season you have to watch, and also the third one coming very soon. The reincarnation of the strongest Exorcist in another world is a brand new anime currently airing this season, where it follows the strongest diviner named Haruyushi, who was betrayed by his companions and was left to die. He then attempted the secret reincarnation technique and was born into a new family. However, he was unable to use magic like the others, but still possessed his old techniques as an exorcist and can summon or use other spells he once had before. People will definitely make fun of him, or even he might even get bullied. But, just wait until they see what he's made of. It's being created by Studio Blank, not the greatest or even the worst, but somewhere down the middle for their production. But still, it should be a wild ride to watch this anime. When I think about Arslan Senki, I tend to think of the show as a mixture of fantasy, adventure, war, drama, and the story overall that really emphasizes the journey of a young prince. Arslan Senki is a show that chronicles more than just the making of a hero. It delivers a tale of adventure that should be remembered like a legend. For its themes and storytelling, I can safely say that this show is one hell of a ride. If you're interested in a war story with interesting storytelling, strong characterization, and the journey of a prince, then you're in it for a treat. Each episode expands on the story that keeps the audience wanting more. Each episode shows us that just more about the characters than we want to know, and each episode captures the reality of war really is like in their world. It is so damn good. You have to check this one out. Now, to end this list off, what I'm recommending to you all is The Rising of the Shield Hero, a story of betrayal and revenge for its first season that quickly shifted and went downhill for its second season, but strictly, it's all about the season 1, because this is where it is the best of all time. Naofumi was isekai to another world and was summoned as one of the 4 cardinal heroes, and he was chosen as the Shield Hero. In the eyes of many, he was the weakest hero among the others, unable to attack or be useful in battle, but just block and defend. Many treated him completely unfair. He was even accused of assault, something he never did, and was exiled from the kingdom and became an outcast hero to make a name for himself and prove to everyone else that the Shield Hero is the strongest of all time. It's a great fantasy journey of, you know, one that changes Naofumi as a person to where he trusts no one at all but himself and also his companions. You just made it to the end of the video and witnessed 10 anime where the main character is banished for being weak but comes back as a savior. If I've managed to leave any anime out in particular that you thought would be a great share on the list, then please let me know in the comment section down below, as I'd love to hear your very opinion, or just comment down below what you thought about the video in general, as I'd always appreciate the feedback. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one.